Hi, I'm Brooke and my dog Pippa is right here, and we travel full-time in my Honda CRV. We have been on the road since May of 2021 in this car, but we've been on the road nomad style since August of 2020. I should show you all of her. She's taking a nap. We just got back from the park, so she's quite tired. But today we are actually going to talk about getting Wi-Fi on the road. A lot of people ask me about Wi-Fi, and I don't think it's as difficult as maybe people make it out to be or that people realize, but a lot of us travelers don't actually use Wi-Fi at all. A lot of us just use the data off of our phones. So I stream a lot. I streamed a lot on TikTok. I did stream on Twitch a lot as well, and I do YouTube lives, and I have never had a problem being able to hotspot just from my phone. So just straight off the bat, I don't really use Wi-Fi. I find that even when I'm like parked outside of a Starbucks or a Planet Fitness or McDonald's or just like anywhere that has public Wi-Fi that you can just sit outside and use, that Wi-Fi tends to be super slow, and even for uploading videos and things like that, it just doesn't work that great for me. So I have a T-Mobile business plan. I switched over to all T-Mobile in the middle of summer last summer and upgraded to their business plan because I'm doing videos and online work, so I qualify. I get 200 gigabytes of high-speed data, and then obviously after that it gets kind of like throttled or whatever, but it's still technically like unlimited. And I think I can add up to another, like one more line to that if I wanted to. So I do have two phones. So sometimes if like my cell service is weak in one area, I will actually just hotspot from like one phone to the other to kind of like boost my own signal, and that seems to work really well. I have not had a problem with it at all. I will say I did try the whole like having one plan with one carrier and then like another plan with another carrier. So I did do the whole Verizon hotspot thing, and honestly, I'm gonna be brutally honest, the Verizon hotspot literally never worked. It did not help me one bit. I had it for 2 months. I called them a bunch of times. We tried to figure it out. And I don't know if it's because I have a T-Mobile phone. It did tend to work a little bit better with my laptop, but I don't use my laptop a whole lot. I do most of my work from my phone. So even like all of the video editing and stuff that I do and uploading, I do it all from my phone. So I just canceled that subscription. Now, it may work better for you if you are working on a dedicated laptop and maybe doing like Zoom meetings or like something like that. That's why I just kind of speak from my perspective. But if you're not needing to do those things and you already have a carrier, I would just boost up kind of what you have with that one carrier that you have and just go from there at that point. Technically, I don't really use Wi-Fi really at all. I have always kind of had bad internet service, like even when I lived in apartments and stuff, and always was just used to using my data. So maybe that is why I get asked a lot, because a lot of people just use whatever their provider is at their home or their apartment or whatever. But in my case, I guess I just never had great service to begin with, so I was just always having to supplement with my phone, especially when I would stream a lot, like Netflix or Hulu or whatever. It would be like my TV would work off my Wi-Fi, but then my phone would slow down a ton. So I just must not have had like the great plan or whatever. So I don't rely really on Wi-Fi at all, and if I do rely on public Wi-Fi, I always use a VPN. This isn't like a VPN ad or whatever, but because I do everything from my phone and my iCloud and stuff is all linked in there with my banking stuff and just like everything that I do on my phone, I do use a VPN. I won't like recommend one over another, but if you are going to connect like consistently to public Wi-Fi or be streaming a lot or just like for any internet safety, I would like recommend using a VPN. Just something to think about with that. I always check the cell coverage as best as I can through Campendium and OpenSignal. I talked about that in my like 12 apps you need video that I just did last week, and both of those I like zoom in and I like read the reviews and everything like that just to make sure I have a couple of bars. Like I said in my safety video, I always camp somewhere, even if I'm boondocking, that at least has enough call service that I can like call for help or something. But sometimes ultimately when you're trying to camp for free, you will have to probably go into town to upload videos or like do something else if you need just better cell phone coverage. That is just part of kind of like being out here and like being in nature. Obviously you're not going to have like the best cell phone service in the world or the best like data service technically in the world, but I do mark down the spots where there is really great coverage so I know where to go back to, especially if I'm like wanting to travel but then I know that I'm still going to need to work when I get there. I just want to make sure that I have those places marked and I just save them to my favorites or I pin them on my map on just like my Maps app. But yeah, ultimately sometimes I just have to go sit in like a Walmart parking lot or something to upload a video, and that is just kind of how it goes out here. Now I know a lot of people use the like boosters, the like WeBoost and things like that, and I'm sure they're great. They are out of my price range. Again, like some things are for a lot of people. They think they run like $400, $350, $400, so they're definitely not cheap. But at the same time, if you are like working a 9 to 5 on the road and you absolutely need to make sure that you have that cell phone coverage, obviously like I would totally look into building that into your budget. But for me, since I'm in a car, I'm not moving like my full RV setup or something like that. I can just pop into town really quick or just go drive somewhere and like park, you know, off, like pull off the side of the road or something to like check in really fast. And that's like the really nice part of me being more of a content creator and doing freelance work. I can do work both offline and online, because recording videos and editing them and all of that stuff, I really don't need any cell phone service at all, but to upload them I do. So it's just like by then I kind of batch my videos, and when I pop into town to go get groceries, I will just start uploading them on my phone, and by the time I'm done with my grocery run, it's fine. But I know there are people who have to log in and actually like, you know, either have a certain like upload rate or download rate, or that they are on video calls and things like that. And for that, I think maybe you should look into a booster, especially if you know that you're going to try to stay stationary for a certain amount of time, since that's the easiest. But I just haven't felt the need to make that purchase yet either. But the people who do have them seem to really enjoy it. And I do know that there are a few people out there trying out the I think it's the Starlink system as well, and I think that it goes off satellite, and I know a few people who are doing reviews on that, but that is like a one-time purchase and then you pay monthly, I believe. It's kind of new. I don't really want to like talk on it a ton because I'm not an expert and I'm not trying it out, but I would look that up as well if you're somebody who needs better service if you're working on the road as well. Look up the Starlink and see if you qualify for it. I know that they've begun to send them out to people recently. Oh, and I will add in, if you are somebody who is planning on going to a lot of national parks, even if you are staying in the national park campgrounds, almost like no national parks have great cell phone service at all, just so you know. Whether you have a booster or not, they are not very well known for having great cell phone coverage, which makes sense because, you know, when you're at a national park, you should be enjoying the park and not being on your phone so much. But they are notorious for having terrible service, just so you can be prepared ahead of time. And even just regular campgrounds, even if they do offer Wi-Fi, a lot of people are using them all at the same time and streaming or watching TV or doing whatever, so you can't really rely on that as well. So it's always good to have a backup for data or something like that. But I hope this kind of helps you make that plan on the road. And I will just say, if you just ramp up your data package on your cell phone plan that you already have, I really don't think you should have a problem unless you are doing something like super intense streaming wise. So I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!